Hello, my name is Amena Arif. I'm the country manager for the International Finance Corporation. I'm based in Kenya, and as part of my responsibilities, I cover Somalia for the IFC. Somalia is rebuilding, as you said. And the private sector has a very important role to play in it. In IFC, we partner with the private sector to support a country's development goals. In Somalia particularly, we've done a number of different things, and we're partnering with them very strongly on the business enabling environment. So to give you an example, the IFC and the World Bank together have helped the government to launch a business registration portal. This is basically access to digitally register your company, and it cuts the time down by about 80%. It allows companies, people, entrepreneurs, access to digital services of the government. Right? It's much easier, it's cheaper, it's faster, it's much more business friendly. The private sector, again, has played a critical role in Somalia and will continue to play an extremely important role. And to help support the private sector's growth to the next level, if I can call it, we are working to build regulations, frameworks to help guide responsible investing into areas such as telecom and energy, which require a strong regulatory framework that can provide the landscape or the context, if you will, for the private sector to grow. We're working with the Somali Foreign Investment Agency to see how we can facilitate both local and foreign investment into Somalia. So I think the very first thing is, Somalia has now created a much more stable political environment. It is working to build a more stable security environment, which are all critical pieces to bringing in investment, right? And I think there's a much more empowered foreign investment promotion office. They're playing a leading role in this, and they're essentially trying to make it easier for investors to identify opportunities and then execute against them, right? So that's how Somalia is maybe reinventing themselves as an investment destination for both local and foreign investors to come in. New regulations, as I said, in the energy and in the ICT sectors are also critical. They provide a degree of confidence, and the government is working to build those regulatory frameworks that do not stifle but rather encourage responsible investing in these key enabling sectors for Somalia. Without energy, without connectivity, it's very hard to provide jobs and opportunities and other industries the ability to grow. So there is a lot of work going into that, and I think IFC is doing its part through its advisory services to support the Somali government in building Somalia as a better investment destination. It is the Somali private sector is extremely agile, innovative. The entrepreneurial spirit is very strong, and the private sector has developed in the absence of a lot of factors that are considered, basic for the private sector. The private sector has really, really played a dynamic role in Somalia, and I think we cannot, discount that. They will continue to play that role because they are the people who know the environment, who've learned how to do business there. These businesses have flourished even in times of conflict and fragility in the country. So I think their role in the country's development going forward cannot be underestimated. So how do we, working with the government, make it easier for them to grow, to invest, to expand? That is what is going to create jobs. That's what's going to create opportunities for the Somali people and prosperity for the nation. We've been working quite closely with the government on the enabling environment. And as I said, to give you an example, maybe on the ICT area, we have supported the government's efforts for both interconnection and new spectrum availability, right? And that means there are other opportunities in the ICT sector, in the telecom sector, that investors can now come in and confidently deploy capital against. Right? What else is happening is, the government has been very strong on understanding that there are some key enabling sectors for the country, such as energy, such as connectivity, such as infrastructure, whether it's roads, transport, soft infrastructure, etc. So that is what the government's focus has been. And those are the areas that we are trying to support the government in as IFC. We do see great potential, again, in energy, in telecommunications, in financial services, the thriving Somali private sector that has grown and flourished, in spite of great challenges on the ground, is all set to take on a much larger, better role in the development and growth of the country. And I think the new reforms that the government's putting in place are creating those opportunities for investment, and that in turn will generate jobs and livelihoods for the Somali people. IFC is very proud to partner with the government on that.